of people saw the movie back in the early 1970s, and we've all have wondered whatever happened to the Fouke Monster. Well, it turns out he may be back.
Well, the first few things we didn't pay attention to, you know, you can hear everything but money rather than meat to fry, and it began to get closer to home and involving us, and it got serious.
It excited all of my cattle. They'd run through the woods, and some of them through the fences. It scared them so. I don't know what it was, but something. I haven't heard nothing else like it. And I hope I don't.
It has been almost 20 years since that unforgettable, inhuman scream shattered the primeval swamp called Boggy Creek.
What's he saying? Read that quote to him.
Newspapers at the time shouted the news. Investigators traveled thousands of miles to probe the clues and see the tracks.
Monster. It sounds like the Bigfoot creature in California, but the tracks are too small. It appears to me that the Fouke Monster is some type of subhuman creature, he said.
Then, in the early 1970s, the movie.
People come from everywhere, and the ones that aggravated us worse was usually the drunks and the would-be hunters.
For 2 years, Smokey Crabtree says he couldn't sleep at night for people looking for the Fouke Monster. Smokey was one of dozens of local residents featured in the movie. Smokey has never seen the creature, but his son did.
He's about 13 years old. Had his own trap line he run before daylight of the morning. He went camping by himself. He wasn't scared of nothing in the woods, but whatever he saw really put the fear in him.
Experiences like that were common in the early 1970s. After the movie, though, and worldwide publicity, people stopped talking.
Because people laugh at you. They ask you about it, you know, like they're really serious, and they laugh at you. Oh, you don't believe that. You don't expect us to believe it. Well, if I didn't expect them to believe it, I wouldn't tell them. I've never told a lie in my life.
But you know it's real, as far as you're concerned.
I saw it.
A lot of them not wanting to use their names, not even want to get no advertisement out of it at all. Kind of tends to give more credibility to what they're saying.
There seems no doubt that people, some of them highly credible, have seen something. The question has always been, what? Smokey Crabtree, who has spent years investigating the legend, thinks he may have an answer.
Years ago, there was a circus train wrecked over here on the other side of these bottoms. And there was all kinds of freaks and stuff turned loose. And we run a study on it, went to the newspapers, uncovered what we could. And according to the sheriff back then and everything, they was all recovered, all the animals recovered.
But suppose the animals were not all recovered. Is it possible a gorilla, orangutan, or some animal mutation made Boggy Creek his home 20, 30 years ago? And is it possible he still does?
They were coming towards a Fouke driving, and this monster jumped out on the highway in front of them, and they hit their brakes.
Just this past summer, tourists from Tennessee reported seeing something just off Highway 71. Several hours later, another motorist reported the same strange sighting.
Well, she didn't know nothing about the Tennessee sighting. She didn't know nothing about the Fouke Monster. Those two sightings are only a quarter of a mile apart. The way those people from Tennessee said the way the thing was traveling, that's exactly where he would cross the road.
I believe there's something there.
And so it seems to a lot of people, even now. Many will still not discuss it openly, but 20 years after the primeval scream first cracked the still musty air over Boggy Creek, no one has forgotten it.
It's just like he's telling you it's time to go, and you're ready. You know, it's real frightening. It's a real frightening sound.
It is a scary sound, but let me tell you, interest, even 20 years after the movie came out, is still keen. They tell me at the Boggy Creek store that there's not a day that goes by that someone doesn't stop in and ask about the Legend of Boggy Creek. Tomorrow, we go hunting for treasure, believe it or not, right here in the Ark.
A sinister creature can scare Sherry away.